Good morning children. Welcome to our physics class. As you know that we will be starting chapter 16 light in this final exam. This will be the new chapter that we will start. Okay, so let us start with the introduction. You must be knowing about the light. This is the chapter that you have been doing since class 6th, I think, right? So you have learned about various types of sources of light. You have learned about rectilinear propagation of light. All that you have learned in junior classes. This year we will go one step further. Okay, so let us start with all the things. Once let us recap about them. Okay, so now what is light? Light, as you know, is a form of an energy. Okay, it is a form of energy that provides us a sensation of vision. Because of light only we are able to see things, right? Light makes things visible to us. Although light itself is an invisible form of energy. We cannot see light, but we can see other objects on which the light is falling. So when light falls on an object, that object becomes visible to us. We will see how does this happen. Okay. First, before that, let us learn about various sources of light. We know that sources can be natural or they can be artificial. Anything which gives us light is called a source of light. First classification of sources of light can be natural and artificial. Natural, as you know, where sun, stars, anything that emits out its own light naturally are called natural sources of light. Artificial are all man-made. Man-made sources of light can be bulb, tube lights, anything running on electricity providing us light, right? Fluorescent tube lights, anything. Right? All these, as you can see in the picture, are the different sources of light which enables us to see things. Okay. Then the second classification is about, now in this picture you can see all the natural sources and the artificial sources of light. Second classification will be based on luminous and non-luminous objects. All the objects that are able to produce their own light, like you did in stars and solar system, that planets can shine like stars. Moon is also a shining object, but both of them do not have their own light. They are non-luminous. They are only appearing shiny to us because they are reflecting the light of sun falling on them. So any object which although emits out light but it is not producing the light is called a non-luminous object. And on the other hand, any object which produces its own light, like it can be natural, it can be artificial, like a tube light, like an electric bulb, like a candle, sun, anything that can produce its own light is called a luminous object, whereas any other thing which only reflects the light of other luminous objects is called a non-luminous object. Non-luminous objects can also be illuminated. Illuminated word is when light falls on it, it becomes shiny. To shine is called illumination, right? So some objects like moon and planets, they appear very much illuminated when the light of the sun falls on them. Okay, like glow sign boards, sometimes they don't shine on their own, but when light falls on them, they appear to shine. Such objects are called illuminated, but they are non-luminous. Okay. Now, what happens when light falls on an object? For example, how is it possible that a table is there in your room and during the night you're not able to see it when no light is there, but suddenly if you switch on the light falls on the table and the table appears to you. You are able to see it. Why? Because the light from the source falls on the table, it is reflected back. This reflected light ray enters your eyes. Okay, and when this reflected light ray enters our eyes, we are able to see a certain object. So what do we conclude? That when light falls on an object, they reflect the light onto our eyes, and the eyes send a message to the brain that these objects are visible to us. Okay, so the phenomena behind the formation of images in your eyes is what? The reflection of light. As you know, the phenomena behind the formation of shadows is rectilinear propagation of light. Similar ways, the phenomena which is responsible for us to see the images through our eyes is what? The reflection of light. If light is not reflected by the objects, we will not be able to see them. So this you should remember, that all the objects around us reflect the light to some extent. It can be a lot of light which is reflected. It can be only a small portion. Okay, so absorption, reflection and refraction. What happens when light falls on an object? Some part is always absorbed, some part is reflected back, and if it happens to be a transparent object, some part will pass through it. Okay, so all these three phenomena can occur simultaneously: absorption, reflection, and refraction, or they can occur one at the same time, right? So absorption is what? When a dark colored object absorbs the light falling on it, it appears black in color. No light is reflected back. Only a small portion which makes it visible to us. Only that much. When reflection, for example, a mirror, it only absorbs a very small part and reflects most of the light. That is why it is very much clear image can be observed in a mirror. This is the reason. Very sharp images can be observed. Refraction, when it is a transparent object like a glass, right? What will happen if the light falls on it? It will go inside it. It will pass through it. When it will pass through it, what will happen? Refraction will occur. The light rays will bend. For example, if you happen to see, if you dip your hand in a bucket of water, your hand appears to bend. This is due to the refraction of light when it is passing through transparent water. The light rays bend. This bending of light rays is called refraction of light. Okay, so let us learn more about it in this video. What happens when light falls on an object? Okay, children, so let us see what happens when light strikes a surface. Okay, when light falls on a surface, three phenomena take place. First one is reflection. That means if light falls on an object, it bounces off. Like you throw a ball on a wall, it comes back to you. This is called bouncing, and that is reflection of light. You can see yourself in mirrors because they maximize reflection. Maximum reflection so that you can see proper images. The images are very clear. Right? When sun's rays fall on a surface or from any source of light, they get bounced back. This is called reflection. Second is refraction. Refraction is the bending of light rays when they pass through a transparent medium. Like in this case, we take a glass of water and dip a pen inside it. What will happen? The lower surface of the pen appears to bend where it is touching the surface of water. This is because of refraction. Okay, when light rays pass through a transparent medium, they bend. This bending is called refraction. Third is absorption. The light rays get absorbed, okay, by any surface. For example, in case of some objects, they appear black, they absorb everything. Now in this case, what is happening? These leaves are appearing green because these leaves are absorbing all the other colors except green. They are reflecting only green color of the light. That is why the leaves appear to be green. Only green light is reflected back. All the other colors of the white light gets absorbed. Okay.